Waalaikumsalam, Doktor.
All right, so for today, we're going to continue, and I really hope that you already watched the video that I shared with you on Friday, because during that class, I actually covered the first half of commercial banking topics, and it's quite lengthy because for the first part, I have gone through the sources and uses of fund and the structure of financial statements, whereby you can actually check from your financial statement from the bank operations, and you get to see the sources and the uses of the funds of each bank, and then we actually look at the risk of financial institutions. I have discussed about the credit risk, the liquidity, interest rate risk, and also operational risk, and also we also covered on balance sheet and also non-balance sheet risk. So I have shared the link with you in our My Guru, and if you subscribe to the channel, it is easier for you, I think, to interact with the videos that I posted. Okay, because for last Tuesday kita tak ada kelas, that's why saya guna video untuk Friday's class lah. But for this week kita continue as usual, and this would be our last class before semester break. You're going for a break next week, and when you come back, we will continue with offshore banking. And I know ramai yang tanya about the presentation of Islamic Bank contract tu kan, because the due date is actually on the 17th, this Friday. It's okay, you just prepare and submit dulu, nanti kita tengok macam mana, because part of Islamic banking topic kita baru nak buat hari ni. So I don't expect you to actually present everything today. Kalau ada yang dah siap ke? Ada group yang dah siap dah?
Ada, Doktor.
Ada. Kalau semua dah siap, then we can discuss je today. Sebab the due date saya bagi tu on the 17th, bukan hari ni kan. I think saya letak satu date je untuk that task. Tak apa, nanti kita tengok macam mana. Alright, so ini semua kita dah tengok, but for today we are actually going to focus on more on the banking products and services. If you watch the video, we already discussed about, I think, the deposits and also the financing. Because we have different types of deposits and also financing for banks, especially, and you can again go to your banks of your choice and look at the list of products and also services that they offer to the public and to the customer. And we're going to look at card services and internet banking, and the last part would be Islamic banking. Okay, ini semua saya skip lah, because I think I stop at, kejap saya dah tanda where did I stop. But for the first part, you really have to go watch the video, so that you get explanation, especially on the risk of the commercial risk for the commercial banks, because we already covered about the technology, the operational risk, and also when we talk about technology, we're talking about the risk, and then the operational risk, about the support system, the malfunction, and also sometimes that the technology, when we have technology and we may break down, and okay, again on the operational risk, and then I continue with products by commercial banks. So these are the products offered by commercial banks, loan, deposits, and these are the sources and uses of fund, and you already present before, kan? So semua ada deposit and loan lah, the most kita kata big chunk of the sources and uses of fund, asset and liability of banks datang from deposit and also loan and advances. And then I explain a bit on deposits and also loan and financing, whereby for deposit, so we have different types of deposit accounts. For example, savings, so saving ni very small deposit lah, for small depositor, and also it can be also a salary account, and then current account for individual juga, whereby you can have a checkbook access lah bila ada current account, and then fixed deposit account, and the GIA ada Islamic account for Islamic account, investment account for Islamic bank. So Islamic bank dia tak bagi fixed deposit, they call it investment account. And then kita ada NID juga, NICD, ini pun kita dah cover dalam topik money market last time. So you can go to that topic lah kalau you need more explanation. But I think by looking at this term, then you know already. So these are the types of kita kata negotiable instruments lah, negotiable instrument of deposits. It can be a short term, long term, zero coupon and also floating rate. And then when we talk about loan, kau tengok dekat sini ada banyak sangat depending on the banks itself. So the one that I mark here is already discussed, the home loan or the housing loan. And we also talk about personal loan, plant and machinery ataupun term loan. So these are the types of loan yang memang kita kata agak popular lah among bank customer. And basically I also explain about what are the documents needed and we want to apply for loans. For sure IC lah. And then the salary slip, so it is very important for the banks to look at the salary slip. And then the income statement, kalau you tak ada salary slip ataupun letter from employer, at least ada income statement lah. If you have a business ke apa dia nak tengok income statement, duit masuk keluar tu. The bank statement, saving ataupun current account statement. And also kalau untuk business, dia nak your business registration in order for you to be granted any loan. So kalau tak ada salary slip yang fixed income tu, the bank usually need the business registration and also the bank statement. Sama juga dengan personal loan lah. Personal loan ni untuk whatever loans lah. Nak beli aset, nak buat investment, nak beli komputer for education, nak sambung belajar. So this is the purpose of personal loan. It can be for anything kalau ikutkan lah. And if the customer is eligible, then boleh tengok balik. Dia akan bagi the table, the term, berapa tahun, berapa banyak dia nak bayar every month tu. And the installment dia can be up to 7 years or 10 years for personal loan ni. Lama personal loan ni pun lama. And again, to apply for personal loan, sama juga macam home loan tadi lah. They need your IC, your salary slip, your employer's confirmation sometimes. And dia nak tengok lah that orang ni ada fixed salary, ada employer, so that they are able ataupun able to pay back the loan. And then we can also have overdraft facility. Alright, so overdraft facility ni untuk current account tadi lah. For overdraft ni, it's actually when you, contohnya bank bagi certain credit limit, you apply current account for 50,000 katakan, and then bank bagi credit limit 70,000, which means you can use up the amount up to 70,000. Katakan dah ada dah terkurang amount, but you want to pay something, so overdraft will allow you to do that. Bank akan bagi the granted specific limit lah to be approved. This is actually for normally for business lah. That is for the day-to-day capital. So they boleh grant overdraft facility. Tapi overdraft ada interest lah. Dia pakai simple interest formula. So itu kita dah tengok last week. And then other products provided by the bank are actually trade finance. Okay, trade finance ni kita dah tengok juga last time, whereby we have bankers acceptance. We have letter of credit, shipping guarantee, bank guarantee. This is for trading, for trade finance, for business customer. And the card services, of course, they have credit card, debit card, charge card, including the money markets lah. Money markets ada BNM bills. Ini pun termasuk NID tadi. Ada repos, commercial papers, ada MGS. Ini product provided by commercial banks. And the banks can be both conventional and Islamic. And then for your assignment, untuk assignment 1, 2, 3 tu, you actually did, you choose conventional bank, but for Islamic contract assignments tu, you have to choose Islamic banks lah untuk tengok which type of contract that they have. Because untuk Islamic ni, dia produk dia lain sikit lah, the terms pun lain sikit. And then dekat sini, the classification is that I classified into both conventional and also Islamic. Contoh macam tadi lah, kalau dekat sini kan, kalau conventional bank dia akan guna term fixed deposit, but for Islamic bank dia akan guna investment account, dia tak kata fixed deposit. Next would be electronic banking. Alright, this is also nothing new. The explanation here is just that I think all of you are familiar with electronic banking ni. It's just that when we discuss, we are also looking at the risk and then the not only the features and also the risk of each products. Alright, so first let's look at the first one. So the first one we have electronic banking. So when we talk about electronic banking, we're talking about both internet banking and also ATM. automated teller machine. Okay, so this is electronic banking. And for electronic banking or e-banking lah. Sometimes kita tengok the term dia letak E kan. Stands for electronic. So kita ada e-banking. So e-banking involve both internet and also ATM. So internet banking, here is the internet banking. So tengok ada advantage, disadvantages tak dekat sini. Electronic consumers. Okay, ada. Right. Okay, so this is for internet banking. So the advantages of internet banking semua pun tahulah. I think all of you, or at least most of you guna internet banking ni. If you have a bank to you, bank rakyat, bank Islam, CIMB semua. What are the advantages of internet banking? Of course, number one is fast and convenient. Tak payah pergi mana-mana, not only boleh buat dekat laptop, boleh buat dekat komputer, dekat phone juga. The mobile banking, the internet banking now, kita boleh kata mobile banking juga. You can access your internet or your banking transaction using your phone. So fast and convenient, flexible, hassle-free payment. Senang kan nak bayar saman 80% discount kan. Bayar saman buka dekat phone je boleh buat. Or you can go to ATM lah untuk buat ikut the instruction je. And then the saman PDRM tu been there all this while. Selama ni memang ada je, agaknya orang tak perasan kot kan. Bila kecoh-kecoh 80% discount ni semua sibuk nak pergi bayar. Just that you can just go to ATM and bayar. Online cards and also share transaction semua boleh buat using internet banking. So memang the key here is fast and convenience lah, right? Tapi ada juga disadvantage di sini. Number one, lack of security. Okay, sometimes people scared to use this internet banking because of lack of security. Especially contoh kalau you pergi lepak dekat Starbucks ke, you use the free wifi tu, do not do not do your banking transaction using free wifi tu, yang tak ada, yang tak secure tu. Kalau ada hackers ni semua senang jadi nak intercept your transaction. So lack of security. Service not sufficient. Okay, sometimes you need to ask something, you need to do something. Alamak, kadang internet ni tak ada, tak jumpa. So you have to call ataupun you have to pergi dekat bank juga. So sometimes the service is not sufficient. Interruption of service, ini pun biasa jugalah. Then sometimes you nak masuk website tak boleh, bank to you down. Tengah orang nak beli Shopee sale 12 kan. Alamak, tak boleh guna pula. So kacau kat situ. So those are the disadvantages. And also issue about legal and physical infrastructure, because sometimes because of this lack of security, it can result in the legal ataupun kata it is not easy for bank to set up their internet banking, so they have to invest a lot and sometimes they invest macam-macam tapi tak user friendly, orang tak suka, tak boleh juga kan. And then the physical infrastructure, they have to have a very complicated and sophisticated server in order for them to have this internet banking. That is why tak semua bank ada service internet banking ni. And then electronic banking service. Okay, bila kita kata electronic banking ni, banyaklah kita kata the players for this electronic banking service ni, whereby we have consumer, corporate, interbank and also products. Because we must understand when we talk about electronic banking services ni, not only for the consumer. Okay, it is also for their corporate clients. It is also between banks and also certain products that are available under electronic banking service ni. Alright, for the consumer, okay, untuk electronic banking ni, because this is the, kita kata the general mechanism je lah di bawah electronic banking ni, dia ada macam-macam lagi. So for consumer or customer, number one, we have ATM. Ini semua pakai kan, automatic teller machine. Kalau musim raya, musim Chinese New Year, busy lah. Dan musim raya kadang-kadang kita tengok kan dekat machine dia kata this machine only dispense RM10 ataupun only dispense RM50. So siapa nak duit baru tak payah pergi queue dekat bank, you just pergi withdraw duit dekat machine tu, you can get duit baru for duit raya tu. So for kita ada ATM enables authorized users to withdraw money. Kita boleh buat macam-macam lah, withdraw money, cash deposit, transfer of funds and balance, inquiry. Boleh tambah lagi lah, you can bayar saman PDRM juga bayar saman PDRM dekat sini. And a lot more lah sebenarnya kan, you pay bills pun boleh using ATM ni, not only pakai electronic banking atau pakai your mobile phone untuk buat the transaction, you can also pay bills dekat sini. Macam-macam lagi kita boleh buat lah dekat ATM ni Okay, pay bills. Alright, so Barclays Bank ni in London they launched in 1967 dah ada ATM. Kat Malaysia kita ada HSBC. First ATM in 1982. Sebelum tu tak ada. Sebelum tu nak apa-apa you have to go to the bank lah. Alright, main function of ATM, ini pun macam saya kata tadi lah, I don't have to go in detail because kita boleh fikir logiknya lah. What did you do? What do you do with ATM? First of all is cash withdrawal. Okay, inquiry on account balance pun boleh. Deposit cash and check pun boleh. Kita ada CDM kan, cash deposit machine. This is automated teller machine. Orang nak curi kadang-kadang kita tengok kan ada nak pergi rompak, dia pergi petahkan ambil, dia tak boleh nak ambil. Dia ambil machine but they cannot open, nak ambil duit tu tak boleh. So, betapa the security lah You can also request statement, checkbook, purchase shares, banyak boleh buat through ATM ni. These advantages dia, okay, convenient. Again, we're talking about convenient and also cost saving. You tak payah pergi masuk dalam bank, tak payah cari masa, tak payah pergi jauh, mana-mana ada ATM, then you can withdraw. Contoh kalau duduk dekat kampus ni kan, you duduk dekat Taman Bahtera sana, nak pergi Pekan, maybe jauh, tapi kita ada satu ATM dekat pintu timur tu. Okay, so boleh pergi situ. And then convenient lah, convenient. International access, okay, those yang ada ni, ni lambang ni dekat sini kalau ada ATM tu, some cards can be used outside Malaysia. So you can go to any country yang ATM dia ada ATM tu, logo ATM tu, then you can withdraw money using your Maybank card. Contohnya you pergi jalan-jalan Singapore, so you can withdraw your cash using your card Dia keluar duit negara tu lah, dia keluar RM dia keluar $16 lah. But dia akan convert lah. Let's say you nak key in berapa banyak, dia akan keluar duit yang sebanyak mana yang you ada dalam account So international access. You don't have to worry nak pergi holiday, tak perlu bawa cash banyak-banyak. You just have your credit card or your ATM card ni, or your debit card, then boleh guna. Shared resources, okay, maps ni lah. Kalau kita tengok maps ni, kalau semua ATM yang ada maps ni, then you can use any cards untuk withdraw duit. Kalau macam dulu, before MCO, let's say you nak withdraw duit guna ATM Bank Islam contohnya, but your card is Maybank, dia charge you RM1. Sekarang tak ada. Dia tak charge dah RM1 tu. Or if you have account with foreign bank, katakan you ada account dengan HSBC, you nak withdraw dekat Maybank, dia charge RM5 kalau foreign bank nak keluar dekat ATM biasa ni, dia charge RM5. Now, tak ada juga RM5 tu because of the MCO ni semua dia buang lah the transaction fees tu kan, RM1 tu dah tak ada. So these are the shared resources by banks Okay, kita tengok advantage kan, best itu ada ATM, sini ada ATM. Disadvantages dia, eliminates the disbursement float. Phantom withdrawal lah, kadang-kadang orang curi kad dia boleh withdraw duit kita guna kad, bukan kita yang keluarkan duit, tapi orang lain yang keluarkan duit tu. Ini sangat menakutkan fraud card. System error, you pergi situ out of service, pergi situ out of service, take update, nak ambil. And crime. Orang sangat excited kan tengok, oh banyak kita kata robbery yang pergi pecahkan tempat the machine tu untuk ambil duit kat dalam tu. So again, for the services provided by this ATM, I think I don't have to go into detail lah. Semua pun boleh fikir kan, bila you pergi ke ATM, you can imagine apa servis yang ada dekat dalam tu Like I said tadi, ada withdrawal, ada balance inquiry, fund transfer, bill payment fixed deposit, credit card payment semua boleh buat kat situ, share application boleh buat kat situ, touch and go, mobile prepaid semua boleh buat dekat situ Alright, next is telephone banking. Okay, yang ni mungkin lah kalau tak pakai sangat telephone banking ni. So apa kita boleh buat is you can do transaction using your phone. Okay, kita boleh call number lah, dia bagi number transaction of retail business between a bank and customer. 3 main method. Satu, dia pakai AVR ni, automated voice response kan. Kita call, cakap dengan mesin ni kan, tak cakap dengan orang pun. Sampai lagi satu option, tekan kosong kalau nak cakap dengan operator, baru dah dapat orang. Otherwise, dia memang pakai AVR dia, automated voice response. So, semua function yang boleh buat dekat ATM, boleh buat menggunakan phone banking. Kecuali apa? You cannot withdraw cash lah sambil you cakap dengan mesin tu kan. Okay, saya nak itu ini. But you cannot keluarkan duit lah through phone banking. You boleh tanya dia boleh buat something for you. Dia boleh buat all the service. Dia boleh jawab your balance inquiry kan. Dia tanya nak check balance boleh, nak transfer boleh, nak buat bill payment boleh, loan payment boleh, credit card payment boleh. Semua payment yang buat dekat ATM tadi, you can use it, you can do it through phone banking except withdrawal. Withdrawal tak boleh buat. Nak transfer semua boleh. Nak buat keluar duit tak ada. Nak bagi duit keluar ikut mana kan. Because you use phone So kita kata voice response. This is AVR tadi. Caller interacts with bank central computer. Tekan 1, tekan 2, tekan 3 tu. Okay. Voice recognition pun ada. Sekarang dah canggih. The system recognize the voice of the caller and also programmable phone. Ni if you are the user of phone banking ni, then adalah using the key dekat phone So kita dah program dekat phone So again for these services provided by phone banking service, like I said just now, account inquiry, pay bills, manage fund, message service, monitoring usage, fund transfer, checkbook request nak stop check, nak buka account ni kadang-kadang boleh jugalah. So loan untuk loan payment, bukan setakat ni, loan payment boleh, loan payment. You also can kita kata credit card related service. Credit card related service. Kad hilang ke apa kan, kita boleh call. Nak report lost card pun samalah nak report lost card. Report lost card. Alright, so kita consider as a recent development whereby the most recent is actually mobile banking lah. Kalau dulu you need a laptop nak buat internet banking kan, or you need an internet untuk buat internet banking ni. Tapi sekarang you can do everything using your phone Sekejap, dekat sini tak ada disadvantages of internet. Sekejap. Mobile banking. Internet banking, okay. Alright, so disadvantages tadi ada dekat sini lah. Internet banking tadi tu yang kita cakap about interruption apa semua These are the disadvantages of internet banking tadi. And then okay, go back to phone banking service, mobile banking. Mobile banking, I think itu sama jugalah You can go to your phone and tengok what you can do with mobile banking ni. So sama jugalah, boleh download apps. Tak kisahlah whatever bank that you use can use apps untuk buat all the transaction nak transfer duit. Macam tu juga, whatever you do dekat ATM, you can do it using your phone using apps lah. Especially kita pakai apps kan, bank to you apps or whatever apps yang ada, boleh buat di phone Not only apps macam tadi balance inquiry apa semua now payment lah. Kebanyakan payment memang kita buat guna phone kan. Kita ada touch and go, e-wallet lah apa semua tu. Itu semua itu ialah mode of payment tapi when we talk about commercial banks, so the apps you can download lah. You ada Maybank, ada CIMB, ada Bank Islam punya So all the apps ni function dia mobile banking ni sama dengan what you can do with internet banking. And if you look at the disadvantages and advantages dia pun, kita kata basically the same Sebab when we look at the internet banking advantages kan, fast and convenient, semua pakai phone je, flexible, hassle free, online card share transaction semua boleh buat guna phone. Tapi disadvantage-nya security lah, you have to really take care of your phone and service sometimes not sufficient, you have to go to the bank Kalau tak ada line, tak ada service, tak ada signal you masuk tempat yang tak ada line, then you cannot use your phone for mobile banking tu. Okay, so internet banking dan mobile banking ni basically kita boleh discuss that advantages and disadvantages dia lebih kurang And then we have FPOS, Electronic Fund Transfer Point of Sale. Ini pergi beli barang, you bayar pakai debit card ataupun pakai, saya Maybank customer so saya banyak pakai Maybank punya lah, pakai Maybank QR Pay. So itu semua ialah FPOS maknanya you pergi bayar by electronic means lah, or can also guna debit card whereby your account will be debited electronically. And again dia adalah convenient and speed lah, cepat pada kita cepat and then sometimes kita wave je kan, tak payah masuk pin apa semua pun, so very easy. when we have transaction, ada kita pergi beli barang, ada sales. Advantage to customer, of course, convenient and speed lah. Tak payah bawa cash banyak-banyak, you just bawa your card je. Advantage to business, okay, fast, immediate transfer of fund. Terus je tolak account kita, pergi ke account dia. No risk of bounce transaction. Sometimes bila you bayar pakai check, sometimes check to bounce kan, account tak cukup. Lower handling cost and theft of cash reduce. Daripada jual barang ribu-ribu, dia simpan the cash, it is better untuk fund transfer. Disadvantage. Again, when we talk about electronic banking ni, paling penting the disadvantage itu security and also the fraudulent transaction. Kita yang bertanggungjawab dengan kad tu. If you lost the card, tak report stolen, and then someone else use the card, that is the definite disadvantage lah. And signature appears on the reverse card. And untuk retailer, cost of implementation is they have to have the machine kan, ada credit card machine. Some tempat dia kata cash only, so you tak boleh pakai card pun. Debit card pun tak boleh, dia nak you bayar cash je. Because of why? Because of the cost of implementation. Ada machine nak set up, nak link kan kita punya account ke account dia tu, it takes, they have to invest a bit lah untuk that transaction tu. Okay, that's basically for consumer, retail consumer kita kata. And then next would be corporate, corporate customer ni. Kalau corporate dengan corporate ni, kita ada EDI, they call it EDI, Electronic Data Interchange. So dia e-banking juga, e-banking for corporate. EDI ni, dia lebih kepada, we can say that it is a bridge between banks and customers and providing detailed trading data, payment information. So here, company can send commercial documents, purchase order, invoice to business partner. Sales credit pun can be sent to bank using EDI, electronic data interchange. And this is just a system lah. Dia kata, dia kata electronic bridge, it is a system. So apa advantages? Okay, objective of EDI ni, ability of retailers to respond to customer demand. So for manufacturer, transport, fast and accurate, bank must provide up-to-date information on customer account as well as to facilitate movement and management of payments of funds. So ni banyaklah pakai EDI ni. Just that the cost can be reduced. The time is safe lah. Of course, bila kita pakai internet ni, kita kata kita pakai benda elektronik ni, so we can say that we can save time, convenient, fast and convenient. For importer, dia dapat import dokumen, dia boleh deliver the document to customer before arrival of goods. Ini lebih kepada import export. Kalau import export guna EDI je. Okay, electronic data, dia lah electronic data interchange, just exchange the information je for this EDI ni. Alright, next is interbank. Okay, tadi kita tengok consumer, and then kita tengok corporate, company to company, and then kita ada interbank juga. Ini bank to bank. So bank to bank ni kita ada dua, dia panggil dua fund transfer between banks. So we call it rentas, real time, nama pendek dia rentas, real time electronic transfer of funds and securities. You nak transfer fund kan, you masuk bank tu, you nak transfer duit dekat pergi beli barang, so you beli, you nak transfer from bank, Maybank pergi CIMB, contohnya so kita hantar, transaction tu tak nampak kan, kita just klik je, but what happen behind, the technology behind tu. So untuk interbank ni, the system is called, the electronic system is called rentas, real time electronic transfer of funds and security. Itu bank dalam bank di Malaysia. Untuk worldwide ataupun interbank financial telecommunication outside, let's say you nak transfer duit pergi, macam kita ada ramai foreign worker kan, so they want to transfer back to Bangladesh, want to transfer money to Indonesia, so they use SWIFT. SWIFT ni kalau you nak transfer duit pergi ke bank kat India ke contohnya, guna SWIFT code. Dia panggil SWIFT code. So guna SWIFT code. So the system ataupun the electronic banking system tu untuk worldwide interbank called SWIFT. Untuk yang dalam Malaysia ni kita pakai rentas. Sistem lama nama dia lain, nama dia SPIX. So apa advantage of rentas ni, yang the old system lah, saya tak explain about the old system, ada merah kat sini. Sebelum nama dia rentas, nama dia speed, sistem pemindahan elektronik untuk dana dan security. Nama samalah, translate je Melayu dia jadi rentas. So dia adalah computer system, electronic transmission of credit and debit interbank fund. So this is rentas, large value interbank fund transfer. Okay, so dia replace speeds ni sebab speeds ni tak boleh cater volume yang besar. So dia pakai sistem yang baru lah, which is rentas ni. Okay, advantage of rentas. Kenapa boleh interbank guna rentas, real time. So kalau kita nak fund transfer, nak transfer now kan, so dia boleh transfer within, you transfer sekarang terus dapat je, so real time. And transfer are settled individually without netting. Debits against credit. Dia tak ada nak netkan, dia transfer terus satu. So last kali, pay banks able to receive funds with certainty. Contohnya dia tak ada tunggulah. Katakanlah A, katakan Maybank transfer ke Bank Islam 5,000 katakan. Lepas tu Bank Islam pergi, ada satu transaction, Maybank pergi Bank Islam 5,000. Ada satu lagi transaction, Maybank transfer pergi, Bank Islam transfer pergi Maybank 3,000. Ada tak ada net kan debit credit, 5,000 sini, 3,000 sini, so 2,000 pergi ke sini. Dia tak ada net macam tu, dia satu-satu je. Kalau transfer 5,000 ke sini, transfer 5,000. And then after a while ada transfer 2,000, transfer pula ke sini. So duit yang dia nak transfer tu, dia settle individually, dia tak ada net debit credit. So intraday finality, pay banks able to receive fund with certainty. So whatever yang berlaku during that day tu, last kali bank tu akan dapat lah the final amount tu. And kita kata better liquidity management for participants. Right, so advantage of rentas. Ini between bank, bank dengan bank, ni bukan kita, ini bank dengan bank. Kita jugalah because you transfer duit kan. So the transaction is bank to bank. And then for SWIFT, tadi rentas lokal SWIFT ni stand for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Transfer. Okay, susahlah kalau kita ada forex semua tapi we cannot transfer money to outside of the overseas bank. So this is actually to help transferring money to overseas bank. So network enable user to transmit between themselves international payments, statements and other transactions. Also available for non-bank institutions. Just that a bank has to be a member of SWIFT. Sebab tu bila jadi member of SWIFT ni, dia akan dapat SWIFT code. So nak transfer money pergi ke whatever bank yang ada ni, you can use the SWIFT code sahaja. Wire transfer dia panggil kan. Pergi buat bank transfer guna SWIFT code. International payment ni. Right? Local tak ada SWIFT code ni, local dia pakai rentas je guna account number je. Alright, these are the different products of cards. Okay, so these are for card services, products. This is card services. Okay, what do they have here? We can call it a smart card, single or multiple usage card. So your ATM, it can be a debit card as well. So debit cards, kata using plastic card but do not want credit. Ini pun again for card ni is actually for convenience. Very convenient. You don't have to carry around a lot of cash. But for credit card, of course ada limit. So kita tengok dekat sini lah satu-satu debit card. Okay. Advantages to business, immediate transfer of funds, no risk that transaction will bounce. Sebab memang duit ada dalam tu, you just debit from the account je. Dalam account tu dah kena ada duit. So whatever transaction, dia akan debit from that account. Sebab tu nama dia debit card. No risk that transaction will bounce. Credit card tak, credit card dalam tu tak ada duit. So you hutang. Photos on debit cards to prevent fraud. Cost of handling reduced. Theft of cash is also reduced. So again, when you carry cards rather than cash, so tak adalah theft of cash. Theft of card kena guna phone banking tadi lah untuk report lost card kan. So nampak it is actually related dengan yang tadi tu. Alright, ni to business and then to banks, cheaper and quicker to process than checks. If the bank rather give us debit card rather than checkbook. And to customer, of course, easier and quicker than write checks. Nak write check leceh kan, isi satu-satu, tak tahu lah you all familiar dengan checkbook or not, so nak leceh, nak isi. And then detail of transaction including page name appear in statement. So boleh tengok lah kita beli apa, kita transfer ke mana. Some cards not online and account debited 2-3 days later. Some cards dia bukan real time. Some cards dia bukan online, maksudnya dia bukan real time lah. Dia not real time. Dia debit esok lusa bukan on that day. Disadvantages, alright, baru cakap tadi kan, kalau ada lost card or fraudulent transaction is borne by the customer. Bank tak tanggung kita, you lost the card, you report lah, tapi duit kat dalam tu will be secured. Kalau if we can prove that itu bukan kita yang buat the transaction, if we can prove that, then fine. Higher risk as the signature appears on the reverse of the card, but now not really sebab tak semua dah pakai ini, yang lama lah, lama pakai signature sekarang pakai pin. It's either you pakai pin or you wave. Credit card. Okay, card holder is given limit on the amount to use. Let's say you have a credit limit of 30,000. Gunalah duit tu atau hutang lah selagi tak sampai 30,000. Or you have a limit of 50,000. Ni syok belanja kan. Credit limit 50,000. Orang bagi hutang 50,000. Gunalah. Alright, so credit card ada limit. Credit limit is revolving. And merchants are reimbursed by the company and paid a commission. That is why sometimes you tengok kan, pay by credit card. Contohnya, atau if you have public bank credit card, you pergi makan kat mana-mana, you pay by public bank credit card, you dapat discount. So nampak? So the merchant tu dia dah dapat commission kalau certain company guna certain card from certain banks. Kita ada variable payment cards. Allow user to make purchases of variable size by limited to credit limit. Ni biasalah. And also fixed repayment card. Allow users access to 1 month credit by settlement of the balance in a minimum payment. Ini pun saya tak biasalah because I normally use yang biasa ni je lah. Whatever purchase you nak buat lah. Tapi limited to the credit limit je. Kalau credit limit 50, janganlah lebih dari 50,000. Belanja lah macam mana pun jangan lebih. Advantages, okay, some kata tak nak credit card, tak nak berhutang, but looking at the bright side, looking at the advantages, dia sama macam kita buat, kita ada internet banking, kita ada mobile banking lah. Provide a means of obtaining credit, okay, ada tapi kena guna berhemah. Cannot anggap credit card, ada credit card tu, then you can have extra money. No, it is not extra money, this is actually your money, you cuma belanja awal je, but you have to pay back. Lambat bayar balik, you have to pay interest. Interest dia sangat tinggi. Interest free credit for a week to 4 weeks. So kalau beli 1 hari bulan, you settle the payment before the due date, settle full, you will not be charged. Interest free. Easier to use than check and can withdraw cash over the counter or from ATM. Card untuk hutang, credit card, you can still withdraw money. So if you need credit fast, dan mungkin banyak bolehlah guna credit card, tapi tak pakai selalu lah. That's why saya kata kena guna secara berhemah sebab based on research pun ramai kita kata belia yang freeze or yang bankrupt because of credit card loan hutang credit card. So dia belanja, let's say limit dia 50,000, dia belanja 50,000. Dia pergi bank lain, dia apply credit card lagi 50,000 lagi. So dia dah ada 100,000 loan. Macam mana dia nak bayar So hutang tu bertambah credit card dia akan bertambah kalau selagi tak bayar because dia ada interest. Disadvantage, annual charge is payable. Ada journey fees kadang-kadang. Ini paling penting ni. Interest on unpaid balance is very high. Saya kadang-kadang lupa bayar. Dapat call, belum bayar. Okay, terus bayar full lah. But it is for convenience lah. If you need to pay something and you don't have to bring your cash ataupun kalau tak nak pakai credit card, you just buat bank transfer je. Tapi sometimes certain place tu tak ada bank transfer, dia pakai credit card lagi, senang ni apa ni? These are also the services provided by the bank. Kita kata standing instruction ataupun standing order. This is actually for hire purchase kadang-kadang So dalam kita punya internet banking tu, you can choose. Katakan you nak bayar, let's say ada hutang hire purchase atau ada personal loan katakan. So let's say personal loan tu kena bayar 350 setiap bulan. So kita boleh buat standing instruction dekat guna kita punya internet banking tu. Kita boleh set lah recurrence katakan. Ada kan button lah, so boleh you punya ni kita ada recurrence. Okay, recurrence katakan every 20th. So setiap 20 hari bulan dia akan tolak 350 dari account. Automatically, tak payah buat satu-satu transaction. So kita panggil ni sebagai standing order or SI, standing instructions. Ada recurrence dan ada end date juga. Katakan nak buat untuk 2 tahun. Then buatlah every 20 years, every 20 hari bulan dia akan tolak 350 setiap selama katakan 24 bulan. Contoh so ini boleh buat online, boleh buat dalam sistem. Especially for hire purchase. Hire purchase is sewa beli perjanjian sewa beli, and this is normally for hire purchase ni kita kata hire lah, contoh macam beli kereta beli kereta masuk dalam kategori hire purchase, which means you beli kereta, bank bayar dulu dekat company kereta tu. That's why kita buat loan dengan bank, nampak tak? Kita buat loan dengan bank sebab apa? Kereta kita tu bank beli dulu. Bank beli, so kita kena bayar dekat bank. Kita tak bayar dekat orang kereta kan? You beli kereta Proton, you tak bayar dekat Proton, you bayar dekat bank rakyat contohnya. Sebab apa? You beli kereta melalui bank rakyat dah bayar dulu dekat Proton. So you have nothing to do with Proton anymore, you have to pay bank rakyat. So hire, bank rakyat beli daripada Proton, kita sewa pula daripada bank rakyat tu. End of the period baru kita dapat barang tu sebagai kita punya. Itu maksud sewa beli. You bayar monthly tu kira sewa tau. You bayar monthly, katakan you buat hutang sampai 6 tahun cukup 6 tahun, then you get the car. Tu sewa beli hire purchase. Tapi untuk case hire purchase, the possession is actually with the bank lah. Kadang-kadang you tengok kan, orang kata kita kena tarik. Kita kena tarik sebab apa? Bila you tak bayar, the installment tu, tak bayar dia harga sewa tu, dia akan ambil balik lah. Sebab itu kira sewa kan, you tak bayar sewa, dia ambil balik. And dia ambil balik, dia boleh jual balik or whatever So biasanya kereta, machinery, equipment memang ada guna hire purchase lah. So dia lebih kepada kredit kita kata credit arrangement. Credit arrangement, macam saya kata tadi lah. You beli kereta, so this is your car. You beli dari Proton. Okay, beli dari Proton tapi kita ada bank rakyat lah. Bank rakyat yang bayar kepada Proton. So now kerja you sekarang ialah this is customer. Mana nak tak customer, ni customer. Okay, customer sekarang ni akan bayar ke bank rakyat. Ambil kereta dari Proton dan dia kena bayar dekat bank rakyat. Sebab apa? Sebab bank rakyat dah bayar dulu dekat Proton. So sekarang customer dengan bank rakyat ni ialah hire purchase. Bayar monthly sampai dia cukup term, then the customer will get the car. So dalam agreement ni kita akan ada credit arrangement credit arrangement ataupun agreement lah untuk hire purchase ni. And of course kita akan ada beberapa parti yang terlibat lah Kita ada customer or we call this hirer, dia orang yang menyewa And then kita ada bank, and bank ni biasanya we call them as a financial. Dia tukang provide finance kan. And then of course kita ada dealer. Kita ada dealer, ni macam Proton, Honda, semua tu lah. Okay. So the conceptnya like I said just now kita as a customer, you pergi jumpa dealer nak beli kereta, dealer carikan bank untuk kita. Bila dealer dah carikan, okay setuju tak bank mana kita nak cari lah, mana bank yang bagi interest rendah, ingat tak bila kita nak go back to nak cari bank mana akan bagi paling rendah, okay let's say dealer dah negotiate, okay orang ni kita kira lah based on the customer, katakan dia nak hutang 90%, dia deposit 10% contohnya Okay, so deposit 10% datang dari customer ni sendiri, 90% ni datang dari bank. So 90% dari bank ni lah yang ni kena bayar setiap bulan selama 6 tahun, 7 tahun tu. So the dealer ni deal dengan bank, okay berapa rate boleh bagi dekat customer ni. Okay, customer ni good payment, good track record, salary slip semua ada cukup lengkap then the customer mampu untuk ambil loan of 90%. 90% of the harga of the car ni 90% ni maksudnya 90% daripada harga kereta. You cannot loan 100% cuma sometimes the dealer ni, sometimes they do something to make sure that you boleh loan 100%, dia upkan harga kereta. Katakan harga kereta 120,000 you kena bayar 10% deposit dan 90% loan. Okay. Tapi katakan tak ada 10% nak bayar, tak ada 12,000 nak bayar dekat harga kereta, you don't have the 12,000. So dealer ni sometimes, this is not ethical jugalah. Dia adjust, dia naikkan harga kereta so that you boleh loan 120,000. Faham tak? Dia naikkan harga kereta jadi 132,000 contohnya. Okay, so harga kereta, banyak kosong, harga kereta. So you still loan 120,000, so you don't have to pay anything. They arrange for this. 10% kan, 90% kan, dia dapat nanti dia kira 90%. So dia, this is the dealer punya ni lah, dealer punya part lah because nanti dealer ni akan dapat commission juga bila dia delay bank ni kan. And then bila dah dapat kereta apa semua, you dah sign agreement dengan bank you sign agreement dengan bank, you get the car, and you start lah bayar dengan bank. Nothing to do with the dealer anymore. Dealer dia dah deliver kereta je, dah ada delivery note tu, habis lah. Tak ada dah, tak ada dah function dealer tu dekat sini tinggal kita or the customer and also dengan bank, okay? Dengan financial ni. Itu ialah konsep hire purchase Boleh faham Boleh kot. Nanti all ada kereta, nak beli kereta, then you know lah this is a hire purchase hire purchase agreement kita panggil especially untuk kereta machinery equipment Okay, the last part is Islamic banking. Alright, so the last part is Islamic banking. Okay, ini yang saya minta you all prepare the apa tu? Islamic contract So if I can see dekat sini sekejap Okay. Saya check dulu. Group tawaruk dah ready ke? To explain your ni contract kalau nak buat hari ni. Group 1. Ada group 1? Saya tak ada senarai nama dekat sini. So kalau ikutkan this one is due on the 17th You all kena submit online. Mana group 1 ada tak? Group mana yang buat tawaruk ke belum ready lagi? Group 2 murabahah?
Belum lagi, Doktor.
Okay, group 2 murabahah. Group 1 mana? Takkan tak ada langsung from group 1 ni? Kita tak tahu pun buat soalan mana. Because you all tak letak nama so I don't know. You just put group 1 je. Group 3 ijarah?
Jangan Doktor.
Sedang buat?
Saya buka file.
Tak apa. Kalau saya nak tanya dia dulu, dah ready ke belum?
Dah.
Group 4 dah Group 1, 2, group 3, group 4 tadi. Mudarabah group 4? Dah siap dah ayah punya? Mudarabah? Ada tak group 4? Baru nak check dengan group member, dah siap belum? Wadiah group 5? Wadiah, sudah? Belum?
Dah siap dah Doktor.
Dah siap dah. And musyarakah? Musyarakah group 6. Ada musyarakah, tim musyarakah?
Dah doktor.
Oh, you all pun dah. Okay. Untuk group 3, 5 dengan 6 ni, since you all dah siap, kejap lagi lepas ni you all mungkin boleh present and share lah sikit apa, what are your findings. Tapi I still need you to upload your short assignment ni dekat My Guru nantilah juga Tak apa. Now you go through the Islamic banking dulu and then later baru kita tengok you all punya the assignments tu Okay? Boleh Mana group yang dah ready lah, yang belum ready by 17 you still have to submit lah yang belum ready tu. And the presentation mungkin later nanti. When we come back nanti ke. Okay, whatever we discussed before, apa yang saya explain semua tadi based on the products and also services, the credit card, debit card, apa semua tu, those are actually for both Islamic and also conventional bank. Okay, Islamic bank pun ada credit card, debit card semua ada. So jangan kata oh ni conventional bank dia ada credit card, Islamic bank tak ada. No. The products and services-nya basically the same. Whatever they have, whatever facilities, contoh ada mobile banking, internet banking, electronic banking, phone banking, both conventional and Islamic banking ada. And when we talk about rentas, we talk about SWIFT tu semua pun ada. The facilities tu sama je conventional and also Islamic bank ni. It's just that bila kita, because the products and services are the same. Itu paling penting product and services they're quite similar. Cuma apa yang membezakan Islamic banking and also conventional ni Islamic bank ni lawan dia kita tak kata non-Islamic kita kata conventional. Okay, conventional versus conventional. So the banking activities ni they are based on Sharia principles, which means they don't allow payment and receiving of interest, and they promote profit sharing. So dia tak ada kata just for profit oriented ke, tak ada lah dia profit sharing and then they operate in accordance with fiqh muamalat. Fiqh muamalat is Islamic rules of transaction. Muamalat is business lah so transaction business ni dia ada Islamic rules lah. So first of all, of course dia menggunakan konsep sharing of profit and loss. So you all dah belajar insurance kan, dah belajar ada takaful, konsep of takaful, risk sharing semua tu. So dia lebih kepada konsep sharing. So yang mana mampu akan share untuk bantu yang tak mampu ataupun untuk bantu yang lebih memerlukan lah konsep dia. Prohibition of riba, of course, no interest, no riba ada interest. So these are some of the Sharia concepts in Islamic banking. So that is why I ask you to find the mechanisms, the definition of each of these Islamic contract. Sebab dalam ni saya tak explain in detail lah. Kita ada wadiah, mutarabah, musyarakah, murabahah, bai bitaman ajil, wakalah, qad hasan, ijarah, tumabai, and also bai inah, kita ada hibah. So ini semua kita kata Islamic contract by Islamic banks. So the last assignment I want you to find out the definition and also the mechanism applied in Islamic banks in Malaysia. So kita nak tahulah apa konsep, sebab dalam ni ada untuk financing juga. Ada untuk financing untuk macam contoh babi tamak ajil ni kan, ini adalah untuk financing dia macam hire purchase babi tamak ajil. Financing untuk yang ni. Dan wadiah ni dia lebih kepada safe keeping kan, safe keep, dia tolong simpan duit kita. Kalau dekat bank biasa or conventional bank dia adalah deposit lah, kalau deposit yang biasa Maksud deposit pun macam safe keeping kan. Kita pergi bank conventional, you simpan duit kat situ, you deposit duit dekat situ, bank jaga je duit kita. Maksud konsep dia samalah dengan wadiah ni, safe keeping. Tapi you save duit dekat conventional bank, they give you interest. So payment ataupun profit tu dia bagi kita dalam bentuk interest. Tapi wadiah tak. Payment ataupun profit tu dia bagi dalam bentuk hibah. So konsep dia lain sikit lah dekat situ. And then Islamic banking products, okay, again sama juga macam kita tengok table tadi kan, table yang mula-mula tadi tu, dia ada deposits, dia ada investment, dia ada financing, dia ada trade finance, dia ada card services, and they also have money market. It's just that, okay, untuk invest financing ni dia panggil financing, tapi conventional sebut sebagai loan. Dia tak guna perkataan loan, dia guna perkataan financing, pembiayaan dan kredit. Investment, kalau macam tadi kita ada fixed deposit account, so dia ada investment account. They call it investment, investment account. So these are basically the services lah provided by Islamic banks. Ini sebenarnya apa lagi ada dekat sini. Okay. Because I think last time I already discussed with you the difference ataupun the development of Islamic bank ni kan. Kita boleh tengok topik yang awal-awal dulu. Already discussed the concept of Islamic banking ni, whereby it started back in 1990s dulu and now kita memang ada banyaklah number of Islamic banks in Malaysia ni. And then the users and also sources of funds of Islamic bank pun sama dengan conventional bank because untuk asset kalau conventional bank ada loan and advances kan. For Islamic bank, the users of fund is also financing and advances. Dia guna term financing, dia tak guna term loans And liability dia, the sources of funds dia sama macam conventional bank. It comes from deposit from customer. Okay, so now we can see that all these Islamic banking products ni, okay, whatever products that they have ni, not only offered to local and foreign bank, also they offer juga by other DFI lah, contoh macam Bank Rakyat, Agro Bank, they also have the Islamic punya window. So dia ada conventional, dia ada Islamic juga walaupun dia bukan bank, kita kata ni Islamic banking kan, tapi dia adalah DFI, they still have the Islamic window tu. Alright, so kalau we look at the concept, macam tadi saya letak dekat sini some of the concept tadi, macam again the wadiah tadi lebih kepada safekeeping, nanti kita dengar lah our friends will explain. And then mudarabah is profit sharing, dia macam provider of the capital and also entrepreneur. So kita bagi modal, dia buatkan, so dia bayar kita ataupun dia bagi kita profit. Musyarakah, bunyi pun musyarakah syarikat kan, bermusyarakah syarikat, joint venture, partnership. Musyarakah is a partnership. Murabahah is cost plus, maknanya dia jual barang dekat kita at cost plus. So we know the cost tapi dia plus something else. Cost plus let's say 20%, so 20% is the management fee contohnya. So the customer know already, okay, this is murabahah. So what we have to pay is actually the cost plus certain fees. So and agree upon lah, so the customer dah tahu apa yang plus tu. Pembitaan ajil ni yang tadi saya katalah, it is a financing. Boleh kita dekat sini wakalah. Wakalah bunyi macam wakil kan. So wakil lebih kepada agent lah. You ask nominate wakil atau wakalah agent. Lagi kita ada kat sini. Kita ada Qad Hasan. Qad Hasan ni pun loan, financing tapi interest free. So yang pinjam hanya bayar the principal amount tapi kena bayar lah token of appreciation. Dia loan. Qad Hasan ni loan. Macam kalau kita buat loan tadi yang macam for conventional, dia ada loan. The payback would be principal plus interest. So for Qad Hasan ni, payment is principal plus token lah. Dia bukan interest. Dia tak label as interest, dia label as token of appreciation. Kita appreciate financial yang dah bagi kita duit tu. Ar-Rahnu tak ada dalam senaran ni. Ar-Rahnu pun you biasa dengar kan. So Ar-Rahnu ialah collateral borrowing lah, pinjam tapi ada cagaran. So Ar-Rahnu ni. So dapat duit tapi kena bagi gold. Kalau Ar-Rahnu kita gold Ar-Rahnu tu dekat sini, you pergi letak gold dan dia bagi you cash. Wakalah, Apa lagi? Hibah is gift lah So give voluntary return for a loan given. So macam buy bertamat aja tadi is financing Itulah nanti kita dengar kawan-kawan kita present based on the contracts that I have assigned before. Applications on the concept on product and services. Okay, again ini macam tadi lah. Al-Wadiah tadi lebih kepada deposit taking product savings. Okay. Alright, so again ini detail lah untuk some of the contracts custody, safekeeping, investment deposit, mudarabah, financing, ada murabahah, ada barbitaman ajir, ada al-ijarah, ada musyarakah profit loss sharing ni. So these are basically some of the product And I think the brief development ni you all boleh baca je nanti because I have gone through the Islamic banking punya kita kata development dah kita discuss awal lagi dulu. Okay, so again they're based on Sharia principles to spread the application of an interest-free banking concept by establishing banks and investment organization carrying operation in accordance with economic Islamic economic doctrines So they ikut Sharia principle lah. Alright, so for Islamic banking ni, they also have liability products which are savings and also current account So macam saya kata tadi lah, dia sama macam conventional bank So these are their sources of fund ni, liability product ni, this is their sources of fund. Okay, savings and current account, dia pakai inilah konsep ni And also general investment account, dia pakai al-mudarabah principle. And for project financing, again, pakai mudarabah juga musyarakah barbitaman ajil untuk asset acquisition, financing the use of service pakai ijarah and financing the use of service and subsequent asset acquisition. Dia pakai apa sebutnya? Ada nama pendek dia panggil ITAP ni, Al-Ijarah Tuma Al-Bain, panjang nama dia. Okay. They also have trade finance and guarantees. Again, because when we go back to their types of products and services ni, mana tadi? Alright, sama je dengan conventional. Tak ada beza, dia ada money market, dia ada semua ni dia ada semua. Alright, so when we look at the trade finance dia ada letter of credit juga, tapi dia gunakan Islamic principle. Beza dengan yang conventional bank tadi tu, they use the conventional punya ni lah, the profit making tu And dia ada letter of credit, dia ada guarantee under al-kafalah principle. Right, so saya tak ada nak go through into detail it's just that you understand that the products and services of conventional and Islamic banks are quite similar. It's just that Islamic bank ni dia guna Islamic principle ataupun syariah principle yang mana there is no interest, tak ada riba, tak ada elemen gharar, maisir, semua tu tak ada yang kita belajar elements prohibited by Islam tu, itu semua tak ada lah. So mesti from halal sources semua tu so basically go back to that principle. So these are the principle, kita kata specific principle lah for Islamic bank Islamic bank ataupun Islamic finance, the contract yang dia pakai ni. So all banking services except for those involving lending and borrowing of money, remember dalam syariah Islamic bank dia tak ada guna term loan dia tak pakai loan, dia kata financing, pembiayaan. Dia bukan pinjam duit, dia pembiayaan. So tak ada kecuali lending and borrowing money. So Islamic bank boleh bagi with commission fees charge Loan and other lending, dia akan buat kira macam dia beli aset tu dan dia jual balik. Dia bukan orang tu hutang dengan dia dia beli dan dia jual. Sama juga you can buat hire purchase Islamic bunyi macam kalau tadi hire purchase tu tadi saya kata you beli from the dealer but you hutang from bank kan. Ini dengan Islamic bank pun sama juga. So the bank tu beli dulu daripada dealer, kita bayar balik dekat bank. But apa yang kita bayar balik dekat bank tu, it is not considered as loan, tapi dia kira sebagai dia beli dulu dan dia jual balik dekat kita. Konsep dia beza sikit. Kalau convention tadi bank belikan, kita bayar balik dekat bank dalam bentuk hire purchase kan. Untuk Islamic Bank ni dia kira dia belikan kereta dulu untuk kita, dia jual balik pula dekat kita. So konsep dia macam tu, so dia jual, dia bukan hutang dia jual. Purchase asset and resell. Tu dia konsep yang beza untuk loan and other lending ni. Alright, that's all for topik 7. Ada soalan tak? Dia kena baca sikit lah kot untuk yang commercial bank ni, especially the product semua tu, memang kena baca sikit lah. Alright, if tak ada apa-apa nak tanya, I think we can maybe listen to our 3 groups ni yang mana dah ready. Maybe you can buka your file. If it is still in draft form pun tak apa, just a sharing je. Kita nak tengok lah, especially on ijarah, wadiah and also musyarakah ni untuk hari ni. Boleh kita mulakan ijarah dulu? You all punya file dah ready ke?
Boleh Doktor.
Okay, alright,
Dah.
saya stop recording Okay.
Sekejap. Ada nampak skrin saya?
Belum.
Belum.
Nampak lah tapi nampak screen Webex ni bukan.
Okay, Webex. Okay, dah nampak ke Doktor?
Ya, nampak.
Okay.
Boleh proceed.
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, good evening to everyone. Today we are from group 3. We will present about ijarah. So first we go to the definition of ijarah. Ijarah is an Islamic alternative of leasing. Ijarah also is a contract whereby the owner of an asset other than consumable transfer it usufruct to another person for an agreed period at an agreed consideration. Usufruct refers to the right to use an asset without owning it. And then we go to usufruct divided by 2, which is first the usage of shelter for house, transportation for visitors and others. And second is to work using physical energy or skill such as lifting goods, cleaning an office and others for a fee. And then, so next is a pillar of al-ijarah. The first one is mu'ajir. What is mu'ajir? Mu'ajir is a person who gives something for hire, like lesser landlord and owner. Second, musta'jir, a person who take on hire like lease and tenant. Third, ma'jur, a thing given for rent. Fourth, al-manfa'ah, which is the benefit from a thing like usufruct and services. The fifth is ujrah, which is price or fee given for the payment of rent or lease. And last but not least is sirah, which is as known as akad, is offer ijab, which is ijab, and acceptance, which is kabul. So this is a flow of al-ijarah. So this is a mu'ajir of owner and mustajir. And then this one is ma'jur, is manfa'ah, is manfa'ah to mu'ajir and mustajir. So you show a win-win situation. So it's different between commercial conventional, which is in Islamic banking we have a sirah, which is ijab and kabul. So use of manfaat is al manfaat, the benefit from a thing, like usufruct and services. So ujrah is rental from mustajir. And then we go to modern application for ijarah. The first one is simple ijarah, like I explained and from flow of ijarah. And then second is aitab, stand for al-ijarah tuma al-bay, which is hire purchase, like they explained before this. Okay. And then musyarakah mutanakisah is a partnership of company. And then suku ijarah, as known as in if in conventional, if bond. So in Islamic is called suku. And then we go to the example of al-ijarah. We have two examples. So we move first for case one. So the case one is the Islamic Bank has entered into ijarah contract with Mrs. Park Petroleum to supply fuel worth uh, 5 million rupees for 5 years. Then the rent has been fit to be 10,000 rupees for per month. Is this ijarah contract valid? So the explanation is the contract is invalid because fuel cannot be rented out, because it cannot maintain its purpose when it is used. So the next is the Islamic Bank has rented out a building to Mr. Bashir's sons on January 1, 2008. The building is under renovation, which will finish within 3 months. The Ijara agreement has been signed and bank is charging the rent from the date of signing the Ijara agreement. For this case, since the subject matter is not in usable form, therefore the rental may start after it's in usable from after 31 1st March 2008. That's all from our group. Thank you for lending your ears.
Okay, Lukman, thank you. Cuma janganlah stop lagi slide tu, satu benda saya nak tunjuk dekat situ tadi, your modern application tu.
Okay.
Okay. The example ni simple ijarah and suku ijarah is correct. Aitab dengan musyarakah mutanakisah ni is the different contract sebenarnya. Because now we are talking about ijarah je kan. Ijarah is a leasing. So yang lease is simple ijarah and suku ijarah. Dua ni dah contract lain ni.
Okay, thank you, Rita.
Alright. Okay, thank you ijarah. Boleh faham So ijarah is basically leasing lah, macam hire purchase tadi tu. Tapi ini Islamic contract Okay, thank you group 3. Next, can we have Al-Wadia?
Okay, sekejap Doktor.
Ada peminat pula hari ni kat belakang ni.
Boleh nampak Doktor?
Okay, nampak.
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone. Today I'm gonna present to you about Wadiah. We are from group 5. So, definition about Wadiah literally is to leave, quit, abandon and etc. So, technically is a representation in keeping possession or respectable private goods in a specific way. Second is any belonging left by the owner or his representatives with somebody to take care of them. And last is Wadiah corresponds to safekeeping, custody, deposit and trust. In Islamic finance, Wadiah refers to deposit of funds or assets by a person with a bank. In this arrangement, the depositor deposits his funds or assets with the bank for safekeeping, and in most of the agreements, the bank charges a fee for the safe custody of the depositor's funds. So the mechanism applied, we have 6 mechanisms. The first one is Wadiah components. Contracting parties, which is a custodian called Wadi and a safekeeping depositor called Mudi. The offer, which is ijab, and the acceptance is kabul. And the third one is Wadiah asset. So the second mechanism applied is wadiah period. The contracting parties may agree to specify the period of the wadiah contract. The third one is safekeeping of the wadiah asset. The custodian must ensure the safety of the wadiah asset and must act in the interest of the safekeeping depositor, and the method of safekeeping may be determined between the contracting parties. The fourth method is liability for loss or damage to wadiah asset. The custodian must not be liable for any loss or damage to the wadiah asset under the wadiah contracting except for those arising from his own misconduct, ta'di, negligence, taksir, or breach of specified terms, mukhalafah al-shurut. So the fifth one is appointment of the third party custodian. A custodian must not entrust the wadiah asset placed in his custody to a third party without prior permission of the safekeeping depositor. So the last one is direct loss. All direct costs related to the safekeeping of the wadiah asset must be borne by the custodian and the third party with prior permission of the safekeeping depositor. So the example of the wadiah, first, an individual keeps a sum of money or assets in the bank. The bank is responsible for holding the money or asset with trust. The third one is individual A allows the bank to use the amount of money or assets, but all risks are incurred by the bank. The fourth one is individual A can take the amount of money or assets that they have deposited at any time. The last one is money or assets kept in a bank belonging to the individual who known as wadiah. So thank you, that's all from me.
Right, so thank you. So untuk wadiah ni dia macam tadi lah kita dah explain, kita dah discuss it is actually a deposit kan. Boleh naik atas balik tak? Look at your literal and your definition tadi tu. Okay, so literally kalau ikut Arabic word ni maksud wadiah ni to leave, quit, abandon kan. So technically this is the definition yang kita nak tengok lah. Because when we talk about wadiah ni, we are talking about safekeeping and also custody. So to leave maknanya you tinggal je whatever money you have, bagi je dekat bank. Macam tu maksud literal dia. Alright, okay, thank you group 5, and can we move on to group 6, musyarakah.
Yes, doctor. And doctor, can you see the slide? Good evening and good day, doctor and everyone. Today, myself, Jivita Lechmona, and my other two groupmates, Ainul Madia and Umul Latifah Fazin, will be discussing and presenting on Islamic context, which is musyarakah. What is musyarakah? Musyarakah simply means to share or sharing. The root of the word shirka, which means to be a partner. According to Islamic law, musyarakah is a joint venture established to conduct business in which all partners share the profit.
Can you do in slideshow mode, Anjivita?
Okay, wait, doctor.
Only see your group members' names je.
Doctor, can you see now the musyarakah?
Yeah. Okay.
According to the Islamic law, musyarakah is a joint venture established to conduct business in which all partners share the profit according to a specific ratio, while the loss is shared according to the contribution ratio. The literal meaning of musyarakah will be mixture of properties to which one cannot be distinguished from the other or a mixture of two properties so that they cannot be distinguished from each other. But technically, musyarakat brings an agreement between two or more parties to combine their assets, work, or liabilities to produce a profit. It is essentially a profit and loss sharing company for which the profit distribution ratio must be determined and specified in advance. If a partner is to receive a fixed fee, they will not be considered a partner. Each partner can dissolve the company as he sees fit, provided he gives sufficient notice to the others. Doctor, can you see the slide of literary and technical?
No, you're still on slide number 3.
Okay, Doctor, wait. I will share it again.
Okay, all right. Okay, now we can see. Okay, you can
Okay,
proceed.
Doctor, I will continue again from the lateral and technical part. So, musyarakah literally is about mixture of properties through which one cannot be distinguished from the other, or mixture of two properties so that they cannot be distinguished from each other. And the technical part, musyarakat brings an agreement between two or more parties to combine their assets, work, and liabilities to produce a profit. It is essentially a profit and loss sharing company for which the profit distribution ratio must be determined and specified in advance. If a partner is to receive a fixed fee, they will be not considered a partner. So it means each partner can dissolve the company as he sees fit, provided he gives sufficient notice to others. Moreover, each partner has the right to participate in management of musyarakah. The partners can appoint a managing partner by mutual agreement. One or more partner may decide not to work musyarakah if one or more members choose to become inactive or silent member. The ratio of their profit cannot exceed the ratio that their capital investment supporters, hence the total capital investment in musyarakah. Next will be presented by next presenter.
Hello. Dengar tak? Dengar ke? Okay. I will present about mechanism applied in Islamic banks in Malaysia. First is musyarakah hutan nakisah as home financing. This musyarakah hutan nakisah apply as diminishing partnership in home financing. Okay, sorry. Apply as diminishing partnership in home financing by Islamic banks in Malaysia. Musyarakah Mutanah Kisah replace by Bisaman Azil, we call SBBA, and by Al-Inah contracts. This home financing, the customer will form a partnership with the financial institution for the purchase of a property. Example that I get is from Public Islamic Bank, which is Public Islamic Bank Home or Home Equity Financing I.
as a partner, the banks will help the customer to acquire the property and share the equity ratio with under a diminishing partnership arrangement. The purpose of this product is for purchase of complete or uncompleted residential properties, and for financings and refinancings of the residential properties. The second one is Musyarakah as investment product. Malaysia offers Musyarakah financing through investment account platform, or called as IAP. Investors will assess a project, and if the project match their risk appetite, they will invest into the business. And last one, the customer will act as an investor to invest the fund in economic activity, and the bank will earn fees as manager and earn a return on its own equity. That's all.
Right, okay, thank you. So boleh naik balik tak your slide on musyarakah mutanah kisah tu. Okay, M&M bawah. Okay, M&M ni memang guna as home financing M&M musyarakah mutanah kisah memang untuk home financing lah. And then tadi dekat depan-depan tu ada spelling error sikit, word not world. You spell word jadi world, W-O-R-L-D instead of W-O-R-D, tertambah L kat situ. Okay, itu saja. Alright, thank you musyarakah. Alright, so untuk hari ni kita ada 3 group yang dah explain the contract. We have ijarah, leasing, we have wadiah. For safekeeping, saya lupa tadi nak cakap, untuk wadiah ni kita fokus more on savings lah, because tadi you all ada explain on the asset juga kan, tapi lebih kepada saving account lah, because we're talking about commercial banks punya mechanism yang kita tengah buat sekarang yang related to us, so dia lebih kepada savings. And also we have musyarakah, whereby this is actually for home financing. So untuk lagi 3 group ni, you still have to, so semua kena submit by Friday, by 17 ni, Friday 17 hari apa, Sunday You all have to submit by 17. And then untuk group yang belum present, tawaruk, murabahah and mudarabah ni, untuk when you come back after the break nanti, before I start with offshore tu, you all kena present dulu lah. We go through ketiga contract ni before we proceed with offshore. And in the meantime, for this semester break ni, I will prepare your assignment number 2 because assignment number 2, like I said before, it is actually related to this topic commercial banking. So saya tak boleh nak bagi awal lah, because saya bagi awal pun you tak nak buat sebab dia related to this topic. So since we already completed this commercial banking topic, I will upload the assignments maybe later this week lah, and I give you a chance untuk rest during your semester break, which is next week ni. Any other questions tak for commercial banking ni?
So far tak ada, Doktor.
Yeah, alright. So if tak ada, that's all for today. Lama pula kita hari ni. And happy holidays, walaupun ada kelas lagi, besok tak ada kelas kan, Rabu, Khamis cuma ada kelas lagi kan. And I will use this semester break untuk mark all your exams lah. Exam saya belum tengok lagi So hopefully you did well lah, soalan tak susah sangat kan. Cepat je semua hantar, saya tengok hari tu Alright, so that's all for today. Thank you. See you after the break
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.